Well, it's another little trick I do. Sometimes I don't feel like changing the antifreeze. Yeah, I'm not sure when I actually changed this last time, and I'm thinking next I really want to change these hoses. Maybe and then when I do it, I don't feel like doing all that stuff right now. And I do have a 70% mixture of antifreeze in here right now, which is the most optimal. The 50% brings you down to like I think it's 33 below zero or something like that. And if you have pure antifreeze, it'll actually freeze, I think, at 8 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you're at 70%, it's well below 50 below zero that it'll freeze. But what I do sometimes is, like, if I have 50% antifreeze, I'll just add some more, kind of extend the life a little longer. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some of this stuff. It's anti-corrosion protection, and it's also a wetter to prevent overheating in the summer too. This brand I never used. I use like Royal Purple. There's another brand. It's like the farmers use. I forgot what the hell it is. It's hard to find though. But Royal Purple is another good one. But first, just to show you, because I don't feel like dumping this thing. It's because I got to take it down a damn regulation, the center for collection center and all that. And yeah, you can see there's plenty of antifreeze in there. See that? So it's like pretty much right at the end of the. I just want to stick some corrosion inhibitor in there, just save me some work, because I'm thinking if I change this now, take it down to collection center, and go ahead and I'll wind up freaking taking out the hoses next year or something, and wind up doing the whole thing again. So I'm going to put the suction gun in here, take a little bit out, and just add some. And I think this is a lot cheaper because the antifreeze itself doesn't freaking wear out. What happens is it gets some impurities in it, and what happens also is that the corrosion protection craps out after a while. So to me, this is the right thing to do. And I'm going to dump this in here. We'll just run this engine a little bit, and I got 2 more cars to do, so I got 3 bottles of this stuff. But if you feel like, last minute I gotta have the antifreeze changed or something, maybe it's 3 years or whatever, and you don't have time for this crap, you might want to do something like this, because it's better than nothing. It's better than doing nothing. And these products aren't snake oil. This product I never used, but it should be a good product. It wasn't cheap. And probably could have got a freaking gallons of antifreeze for it, same price. But Royal Purple's another good one too. And they got enough anti-corrosion protection in them that you can really run pure water and pure distilled water, and then add this. And actually, one of the problems you do have with corrosion in a system is people add plain water to their system, like from the tap water, and it's got impurities in it, and that's really what causes the system to corrode. It also freaking eats up your corrosion protection package in there. You want to add distilled water. The cheapest way to actually change out the system though is to get the pure, the antifreeze. Don't get the 50-50 mixed, and mix it yourself with distilled water. It's a lot cheaper. You pay almost the same for a 50-50 mix as you do for the damn pure, the regular antifreeze that's not mixed. You just pay another $1 for a gallon, or maybe 88 cents for a gallon of distilled water. But this is a hell of a lot easier to do. And the other advantage to it is too, it's a wetter, so not something important in the wintertime, but it will be something important in the summertime, that it'll prevent overheating, or keep your car running a little cooler, keep the head temperatures down, which is an important consideration in aluminum heads, because higher head temperatures, like you're looking at your coolant gauge, it says one thing, but if you're looking at, you don't really have a gauge showing the head temperature. Maybe your car's not running too hot on the water temperature, but the head temperature could be a little hotter. So if you keep the water temperature just a little lower, it'll lower that head temperature too. And a lot of times that head temperature getting up a little high will cause warping, because all these engines today are made out of aluminum. They're not cast iron. So, you know, it's pretty important to keep the engine running pretty cool. So, I'm going to add this stuff right now. And you can see it's a nice green color. It will mix with any kind of like Dex Cool, GM, any kind. Don't matter. Hope-based, antifreeze, don't matter. You know, the pink stuff that what is it, Honda uses, it doesn't matter. So, put it in there, and now I got to run to start the car up right away, get it running around, mixing around. But the thing is, you know, doing these little preventive maintenance tips, because this is really why your heater cores go out and stuff, and put the rest in the overflow. And, you know, maybe it's not that much. See, in this car, to change out the radiator is like a snap and a half. It's a Samurai Jeep or a Suzuki Jeep. But if you, you know, got to change out your heater core and stuff, pretty much anything out there, it's a pain in the ass to do. Maybe it's only $100, but then again, hey, why not spend $6-7 on some additive that maybe will keep your cooling system from having problems, or maybe having a warped head. And you know, the other deal is, like I said, you know, sometimes people are, you say it's the winter time and you're like thinking, oh hell, I got to change that antifreeze. Maybe it's been in there a few years or something. Well, maybe you just don't have the time to do it. And you're saying to hell with it. Well, put something like this, and it don't have to be this brand, any kind of brand pretty much, but this is probably one of the more better ones. Royal Purple's another good brand, really good brand. And doing some kind of preventive maintenance like that is, you know, it'll give you an extra year out of it, because actually this does have enough anti-corrosion protection in it that if you just ran straight distilled water only, you'd have enough anti-corrosion protection without even any antifreeze. So it does have it will boost that anti-corrosion package up quite a bit. And I just figured I'd put this out here as a simple little tip. I'm going to do a couple more cars. I'm going to have to do the El Camino, and I'll do that the GM over there, the Cavalier, and that's why I got 3 bottles of it, and saved me a lot of bullshit work, and you know, taking out the freaking antifreeze, taking it down to the, you know, the center to reclaim it and all that kind of crap. You know, I think when I do it next time, I'm going to put all new hoses on it just for the hell of it, and flush it out really good. Then I'll, you know, put new antifreeze in it, and if I want to extend it out an extra year, I'll use something like this. Yeah, I just want to repeat again though that the antifreeze itself actually doesn't ever break down. What happens is it just gets contaminated, or the corrosion protection package breaks down. So you could actually, this is not a bad idea to do, because you know, you're adding back that corrosion protection. The only problem you got to really worry about is maybe some other contaminants that are in it. But if your system is you know, pretty tight, probably okay. You know, you're probably not going to have too many contaminants in it, and you could probably get an extra year out of it by doing this. Yeah, I just let it warmed up, and now it's thoroughly mixed. I can shut this damn thing off, but you know, I don't like putting it in, opening the cap, because I think half the time these directions on these damn things tell you, you know, pour it in the car while it's running. There's not going to be any kind of problem with that type of stuff, but don't like pour it in there and let it sit. I don't think there's going to be a problem. It's not like using some kind of stop leak or anything, but just, you can put it in the engine when it's cold, because when an engine, as soon as the engine warms up, you got pressure in here. And if I'm putting this video out for people that don't, you know, work on cars or anything, you know, you're not going to, there's going to be pressure under that cap right away. So you're better off putting it in cold, taking a little bit out, use a turkey baster if you don't have that siphon gun, and just add it. And if you don't have room for it, what you can do is you can just stick it in the overflow tank, and eventually it will get in the system. It'll start drawing it in there. You can just do it that way. But I wanted to make sure it's in there right away. So now it's got good corrosion protection again, and I think You know, you could probably extend the life of your antifreeze like a hell of a lot longer than they say, as long as you're doing that every year. But like I said, I don't feel like freaking taking this stuff over to the collection center, and I'm probably going to change out these hoses next year, even though these hoses look okay. I don't see any problems with them, but they'll be getting changed.